And here it is, the Asheville Marathon race day video. Months of training, a lot of really good videos, in my opinion, countless miles, and it all comes down to this one weekend. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how it unfolded from the final days of preparation to the race itself. Let's jump in. To explain how the race went, we really need to start 3 days prior, when we started the carb load. Now, the carb load for the Swanee Half Marathon went really well, so I decided to stick to that. Traditional research and things say to try like a 3-day carb load for the marathon. Again, our goal is to store like 2,000 calories worth of carbs for the race itself. So to do that, we were targeting 700 grams of carbs per day. Good morning, everyone. Today is the first day of our carb load. Today on the docket, or this morning, we already had 1 scoop of G1M Sport. Now we're gonna eat a banana. We have 2 slices of sourdough bread with a tablespoon of honey and some cinnamon and salt. Our goal today will be, this is first breakfast. Second breakfast, we're gonna have some masa flour pancakes with 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and 2 eggs. For 11sies, we're going to have our yogurt with honey, and we're going to have some strawberry banana smoothie. For lunch, we're going to have a burger on one of Dave's killer buns. We're going to have a plantain, some spaghetti squash, and an apple, and some more smoothie. For dinner, we're going to have another burger on a Dave's killer bun with some more smoothie and 2 potatoes. Snacks throughout the day, probably between lunch and dinner, so you could call maybe the snacks would be dinner and that dinner would be supper, whatever. We're gonna have half a cup of masa flour made into some tortillas with salsa and another slice of sourdough bread. So alright, we just finished up lunch, and now we are going to go do our 4-mile easy run today. And I can tell you I am very full and forgot to have my yogurt, so we're going to have that when we get back. We also were not able to eat our plantain for lunch, so we're behind on the food already, and I'm very full. So I'm hoping that a nice easy run will make me a little hungry. We'll see. But we're gonna go do that, get some groceries, and then get back to eating and working and relaxing. So, and I'm not gonna lie, that was really hard. That was very difficult. It got to the point that carbs were just sickening to me. We even went to our favorite taco shop, and I just couldn't even finish my food. And then I got home and I had to eat more sourdough bread and honey. Yeah, it was a lot of food. It was very, very difficult, but we got through it, and I think that it made all the difference. I'm gonna stick to that strategy in the future, and honestly, I mean, we'll get to it in a second, but I did not bonk, and I really think it was because of a good carb load. Sometimes they go real fast. All right, we are on our way to lunch with a buddy that is racing in the half marathon. It's his first half marathon, so it's really cool. And then we're gonna go to this Shakeout run at New Belgium Brewing, which is a big brewery here in Asheville, and one of the big sponsors for the race, and also the finish line destination of the race. And at New Belgium, they are hosting a Shakeout run, so we're gonna go there and then go to the expo and then come back home and probably eat more food. So that's where we're headed. Every good race strategy typically involves some kind of shakeout run. Some people don't do them, but they are very popular. I enjoy a good shakeout run. This year, though, was the first time I've ever actually attended like an organized shakeout run. I think there was maybe 50 to 100 people that showed up, and it was actually a lot of fun. You know, one of the big cool pieces of running is the community aspect, which is something that I don't unfortunately get to be a part of very often, but anytime you go to races, these shakeout runs, you know, you get to see that community and the camaraderie, and it's a lot of fun. Even if you don't talk to a ton of people, it's just like being in that environment, a lot of fun. And then after, we of course went to the expo, got our bibs, and then went back home and I ate more food and got ready to go to bed early for that 4:30 a.m. wake-up call the next day. So race morning, alarm goes off, 4:30 a.m. I get up. I immediately want to eat some moss flour pancakes, some maple syrup. Again, this is the same exact morning routine I did for the Swanee Half Marathon. Another big reason I suggest doing a tune-up race, because I had it dialed in and I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was not trying anything new, and I knew what worked. After that, throughout the rest of the morning, I had another shaker bottle with another scoop of G1M Sport and some electrolytes just to sip on, kind of leading into the race. And then we were out the door by 5:45. We're at the course by 6:30, which gave us an hour just to make sure we had plenty of time for parking, walking over, getting a good warm-up in, getting a little bit of a warm-up in before the race starts in about 20 or 30 minutes, and it went great. The warm-up, I did the same kind of warm-up from the Swanee Half Marathon. Again, broke a little bit of a sweat, but felt good, not too exhausted, anything. It was great. The weather that morning was perfect, unlike the Swanee Half Marathon. The weather was perfect. It was in the 50s from the second we woke up to the end of the race. Perfect weather. It was overcast, the sun was not out whatsoever, and so it was absolutely ideal weather. God really came through on this one, and it was a huge answer to prayer. So all the glory goes to him. So the race started and I immediately went out right on pace. I didn't go out too hot, which was good. When I started this block, I wanted to go for sub 3. Unfortunately, just with the different setbacks, after being sick and just seeing how the half marathon went, I knew I was not quite in sub 3 shape anymore. And so I kind of cut my goal down to, I just want a PR. So that put my goal really anywhere between, let's shoot for a 307 to 319. Anywhere in there, I'd be pretty content. So going in pace-wise, my goal was anywhere from 710 to 720. And that would put me in a 307 to 312 marathon, which would give me a good buffer to still PR if I slowed down beyond that. Now, when I went into this race, I broke it into 3 sections and I actually made it a workout on my Garmin. So the first section was 12 miles, and those 12 miles were actually shared with the half marathon. And then basically at mile 12, it split, the course split, half marathon went on to the finish, and then we went on to do the second half. Those 12 miles were basically where all of the elevation was. It was very hilly. The total elevation for this entire course was 1,200 feet of elevation gain, around 1,300 loss. So it was a net loss course, but there were some pretty steep hills, rolling hills, all in that first 12 miles. So my goal for that section was to average around a 710. I ended up around 720, which I was okay with.
We're halfway. Hills are done. Now we're just trying to ease into a pace. Settle in to the final 10K. See if we can't push. Right now we're going around 720 pace. So let's see if we can keep it.
All right, so after the 12 miles, we split off, and then my next section was 8 miles. Now we're flatter, kind of down by the river, and I ended up averaging that section around a 732. So I slowed down a little bit, but I was trying to still maintain some energy for that final 10K.
Mile 21, that final 10K stretch. It's getting pretty hard now. This blows. All right, see it finished.
As I said earlier, I think the carb load worked. I did not blow up. I did slow a little bit in the last 10K, but my slowest mile was only 8:16. And right after that mile, I dropped to 7:57, trying to speed things back up. Ended up averaging that final 10K at an 8:06 pace. So if you're doing your math at home, that puts my official time of finish at 3:18:56. In fact, I was actually right in front of the first place woman, so that was pretty cool. I actually ended 17th overall. I actually got 3rd in my age group, which was really cool. I even was able to get a little glass, and I got to go to the award ceremony and get my little awards. That was actually a lot of fun.
David Meyer. David, come on down.
I mean, I can't believe this series is over. Thank you, everyone that has watched even one of these videos in this series. It means a ton. And if you enjoyed these, please like, subscribe, share with a runner friend, anything like that just is a huge help to this channel as I look forward to continuing to build, continuing to learn how to become a better runner, but learn how to become a better content creator as well. I want to be able to create content that really inspires and encourages and hopefully helps. Hopefully helps teach some of the mistakes I've made, so you don't make them as well, and some of the mistakes I will make, so that you don't make them as well. So thank you again, and until next time, run with joy.